All right, folks. Hey, good morning. So, picking up where we left off, today we will be trying to build a TUI around the bot that we were working on yesterday. So, yeah, let's start with that. For now, I was looking into like what are the options to build terminal UIs, and I came across some packages, and yeah, let's review them and see what are our options. So this one is archived, so I'm not really sure about this. I'll just close this one. And then there was this Reddit thread which mentions TView, which is this one, and then there's Go CUI, console UI, I guess. And then I'm not sure if they have some. Okay, this has some screenshots. This actually looks nice. Yeah, quite interesting. Like you can see, like people can build a lot of interesting things with this. This has like 4,600 stars. This one I think has a relatively low. Oh, actually this has more. So this is 6,000, and this was last updated, okay, a couple of years back. So that's not really up to date. This one seems more up to date, right? So I'm leaning towards TView than the other one. Yeah, I'm not sure, like this is the first time I'll be doing this, but I think like we can figure it out, at least to make a simple dashboard out of it. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think like let's maybe look at this link as well. There's Termbox Go. Okay, apparently there are a lot of libraries. This term UI, this one looks nice. It has all these graphs and all, but for us there's no such need. But yeah, if it supports all of this capabilities, then it means that it can do a lot of things. This is all I'm thinking. Okay, this one has like resizing option. Oh, I think this uses incurses. I don't know. And finally there is TV, or like TV is at is at the very end. But let's look at all of these. So I think like this is by Google. I know this is Andrew, or no, this is not Andrew, I think then. But yeah, it says like Google, it's hosted on at least Google. That's it. Okay, it says it's not meant, somewhat not maintained. Okay, so moving on, we have this T cell, and the T cell library has no async IO. I'm not sure if this affects us. There are no screenshots. I'm not really sure about this. We can come back to it later on. And then yeah, this is the one I was interested in. It has 10,000 stars as well. Like it's inspired by Blessed and TUI Rust. Okay, and the way you use it is you import the UI, okay, or import it as UI, and then initialize it, defer the closing, then you create a paragraph widget, you put text on it, you set a rectangle around it maybe, or create a rectangle around it, and then you do render, and then you poll events, and okay, this looks a little bit like JavaScript, but yeah. And in case there's a keyboard event you break, not sure why you break, but yeah, so I'll keep this one here, and so that we can refer to it. This is something that seems like not something we really need in our case, so I'll just skip this. This has been archived, so again, like it says it has been moved to this, but yeah, when was it last updated? 2 years ago. This is also quite outdated, right? Like 2 years ago. So let's start with tview, right? So let's see their wiki and all. What is there? So okay, we have all these options that we can build, right? Okay, we don't want to show a timer. Let's look at this example, what it looks like. Yeah, this is somewhat what we want. So I'm thinking like we will have all the messages in one column, and then there can be all the commands, and then maybe an input box to sort of send messages. So hopefully there is something to do that, like an option to send messages. So I think you might look into it here. So there's a box, there's a list, there's a form, text, table, tree, grid, flex, page. Okay, we can do multiple pages as well. There's a frame, button, checkbox. Yeah, there's an input field here, right? So all I'm hoping is that if today we can just get the input like from the standard and working, and also the like in a box print out all the chat messages, that should be more than sufficient, right? So let's start with this. Let's copy this, or just have this in our go mod. So let's do go get. By the way, do we have anything in our go mod for as of now? We don't. Okay, this is not correct. Let's get rid of the https. Okay. It's pulling in a bunch of libraries. Okay, it's done. Now if we go to our main.go, so besides, okay, I think like we can just comment all of this out for now, so that we can figure out how the library works. So we do a tview dot new box, and then we set a border on it. Let's import this first. Set border around it to be true, and then set a title to be skip. Let's do all caps, skip bot. And then I think that's it. So this is our box. So let's save it as a box, and then immediately if we do like if error is not equal to, or is error equal to tview dot new application, then we do a set root, and that we put this box, and we tell it to be full screen. Okay, and then we run the application. So this will give us back run would give us back an error, right? So if there is an error, we do like if error is not equal to nil, we just do a log dot fatal error, right? So at least this should create a box with the title of skip note. Why is this complaining? This is complaining because this shouldn't be exclamation point, this should be a colon. Yeah, I think this looks fine. Let's run this. This would be go main.go. Okay, immediately we see a box on the screen, which is nice. It has a border around it. I'm not sure if you want this kind of border. It doesn't span the whole screen. Like I see like there's a slight gap here on the right side and on the bottom, but yeah, this looks nice. I can exit this. So that's one. Right now we put a box, a full screen box on the screen, right? Now we certainly don't want a box directly. We want something like a flex layout maybe, right? And then we put some boxes in it. Yeah, something like this. So how do we do some layout like this, right? So we have, and moreover, like how do you put content in it later on is something we want to figure out. Let's actually start with that. I'm not sure if this is going to be any simple, but yeah, let's see. They don't talk about like how to put content in things. These are all the components, but is there an example of, okay, let's take a look at text view. Is there a list? What does list look like? Let's bring this in. Okay, we don't want a list actually. We just want this is list, this is data entry form. We don't want this either. I think we just want text view where we can sort of print out the text. Yeah, something like this, right? So how do we deal with this? Like we have a new text view, we set dynamic color to true, we set region to true. I'm not sure what that does. Set changed function to app.draw. Okay, then we have a go function that splits. Okay. Okay, this does a like a coloring of it, right? I think like that's it. It's just, yeah, like rebuilding, is it? It's writing. Okay, this is just formatting the text, and then it's writing to the text view. Okay, it's doing that one by one. How do we get a reference? Okay, we get a reference to text view. Okay, we can figure this out. So maybe text view gives us back a IO writer or some kind of interface like that where we can write to it. I'm not sure about this set done function, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, let's maybe add a what is this called, a text view. Yeah, so this would be tview dot new text view, right? And then within this we'll do set. We don't need dynamic colors, but yeah, we can enable it. I don't think it does us any harm, but yeah, neither does it sort of add any value right now. But yeah, eventually, like if the chat messages are colored, that does help. So set dynamic colors would be true. Set region sets a flag that allows you to define region in the text. Okay, I'm not clear on this, so we'll have to figure it out. And then set changed func would be a func that basically just calls app.draw. App is our application, so we'll do app.draw. Right, so now let's split the application. Before we run it, right? So we run it. Where do we run this? This is our application. This is our cofunc. This is our done. I think we run it here. Yeah. Okay, this is our application. Let's move this right here. Let's comment out the box for now, and then instead of, let's just use app here. It should be fine. What is this complaining about? Okay, yeah, this should actually be a text view, right? So if we have a text view here, we are basically printing that out or sort of rendering on the screen. Now, okay, text view is a pointer to text view. I'm not sure if you can write to it, but yeah, we'll figure that out. Okay, so we have a full screen thing. If I open up main.go, can we disable full screen and see what it looks like? Although we do need full screen in our case, I still want to look at like what it looks like. That's all. Okay, a very small window. Okay, now going back to main, setting this false to true, and then also can I do fmt fprint f to text view and say hello, right? Is that possible? Apparently it is, but does it work also? Okay, it does work. Now let's try it out with our channels and like basically the chat messages. So right, so what we do is we just take this loop here and let's paste it here, and then this just changes to message. That's all. And then once we parse it out, we can sort of have messages go to various boxes and all, right? Okay, this is missing the token. Let's source it, then try it out. Okay, apparently something is not working. Okay, I'm not sure like what the issue is, but let's see. How about we do it the other way around. We take this, paste it over here, do a fmt.println message, comment this out for now just to check whether our piece of code is working from yesterday. So yeah, we are getting the messages, so that is not a challenge. So either this is blocking, which could be the case, right? Okay, so this is getting messages, right? And this channel does have messages, so I'm hoping that it does that. Maybe we put it in a rather than sort of blocking here, we just put this in a go routine and then run it. But let me run it once again just to see what will happen eventually. It doesn't do anything, it just gets stuck. Okay, how about this? How about we do right, we have a wait group. We do a wait group dot add one. We do a wait here. We don't need to resolve this, right? So we'll just keep it hanging in there, and then this can be a go routine basically. So this would be a go func, and then this can basically run in background. So hopefully this doesn't block. Nice. So now this thing can't really take inputs, right? Like this is not built that way. We do need an input field, but till then, if I open the chart here, the chart, so let's do, I don't have the bytes application running, so let me open that. So let's see like how it looks like, what it looks like. So we'll do like npm run or let me just source the variables first here as well. Npm run listener. Right, so this will start in a moment, and yeah, so if I do bytes ls, so immediately we see some messages here. So if you parse it out, I'm not sure how we'll color these messages and all of that, but yeah, I think we can figure it out. So this is our user, these are our messages, or commands rather, let's call them, and we can get rid of all of this junk, right? And we can also have like bytes random. Let me turn down the volume for you guys as well. Let's see. Okay, this does work. Okay, so the next thing would be to have an input field working, right, on the screen. So let's see, we have an on input field option here. So this has a label, this has a width, acceptance function, okay, the done function, and that's it. Now the next thing I wanted to figure out is like, how do we print multiple things? I think like that would be flex or something. So let's try flex and then also an input field as well. Can I not leave this? Am I stuck here? I think it's stuck. Stop opening my mail, man. It seems to be stuck, so how about we do bgil -15 go. Yep. Okay, so this has, okay, we need to find out a better way. Okay, it has sort of disrupted my terminal as well. So let's go to skip bot here, right? So yeah, we'll figure out like a better way to exit, maybe just do a signal exit. That should be it. But here, right here, the next thing we want is a flex, right? So we do add items on it, and the way we, how do we position it, right? Like we say 0 1 false, 0, I'm not sure what 0 and 1 and false are, but I think like okay, let's figure it out. I think the type completion would help us in this case. So let's do tview dot flex, right? We do a flex, or actually a new flex, right? We do a new flex, and to this we do a add item. Okay, immediately there's no add item. Okay, maybe it's just not auto completing on the next line. Add item, yeah, we do a add item here. We will add the item in a second. Let's just add, if we just add 2 items, right? I think that should be it. So I do add item. Add item dot add item, right? And what is the, okay, that's all that we need, right? So in here we will just add the first thing we need is the text view. Text view, we have set these things here, so I think like this should be fine. We'll just add the text view here, and then we can just create one more called input view, right? And the input looks like this thing. So we do like, oh god, so we do t view dot new input field, and then we do a set label. I don't think we need a label, but yeah, let's add it for now. We'll call it enter your message, right? And then set field with, let's say, 50. I don't want any. Okay, let's do it. Set acceptance func would be tview dot input field. What are our options? Integer I don't want, float I don't want. I think like I'll just remove the set acceptance func. Let's do a set done func. How do I get the value from it though? Func would be key here, t cell dot key. It does a app dot stop for some reason. Okay, this is one extra, I think. Yeah, this would be app dot stop. Alright, what is this complaining about? No use. Okay, that is fine. If we go over here, do a input view, right? Then we have this flex here, so we'll just save it as flex view. Replace this here, use flex view here. That should be it. Is there some concern here? Too few arguments. Okay, add this doesn't have enough arguments, so let's see what else is required. So if you add, okay, yeah, you need these things, right? Like 0, 1 and false and all of that. So this is the first one which has the title of left, so this has 0, 1, 0, 1 and false. And what about this one, right one? This has 21 and false. Okay, let's do the same thing. So this is fixed size, right? If we do 0, 1, let's do true to focus on this one, and this would be 0, 1 and false. I don't know, I'm just sort of going along with this, like seeing if this would work or not. Okay, what token missing? That's weird. Oh, okay, this is a new tab. Yeah, I think like it's doing a 50-50. Can I not type in this? How do I focus on this? I can't seem to be able to type in this thing here. Okay, I think like I also need to figure out like how to get the text from this thing. Let's also look at, there was a form as well. Okay, this is a form. You get all these fields. Input is there, add input field. You add all these values to it. What happens later on, right? Like when you do something with it. How do I sort of pull in these values? Can't quit, so that's something. Okay, let's see what are we missing here. So new input field returns back an input field which has these properties. Let's look at the input field. Input field is a one-line box, 3 lines if there is a title, where user can enter text, use set text to accept or reject input, set change to listen to changes, and set mask character to hide input. Okay, so I think like we need set changed function 1. Follow keys. Following keys are used for navigation and editing, left and right. Okay, so I'm not sure why we can't type into it. Does it have like methods on it? Yeah, it does. So there's a set text. Set text sets the current text of the input field. Okay. Get text is there as well. Okay, I think we can use get text and all of that, right? Like set width, label width is something we are already doing. Value 0 will cause the primitive to use the width of the label string. Okay. Set placeholder. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we can do in it, but let's start by figuring out like why is it not really taking in the input fields, right? Or input values. Let's make this bigger a little bit. Why isn't this getting formatted? So there's a done function. I'm not sure when is done called. Let's see. Set done is sets a handler which is called when the user is done entering text. The callback is provided with the key that is pressed. Enter key, escape key. Okay, back. Okay, I think like in this we can sort of like when you press enter, you although like we have to explicitly check if that was enter or not, but yeah, let's do a fmt.println key for a second. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's focus on the input first. So let's make this false, make this thing true here. Do a go run main.go. Go run. So currently this window is focused, but I'm not able to type. That's the concern. And if I press enter, yeah, I wouldn't see anything. The whole screen is being sort of taken up. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is actually the form, so let's look at the input field. Let's maybe try with acceptance func, where we just like put in input as just integers. I think that's fine as well. It did print this thing out. So why isn't this getting updated? Okay, let's try that one more time. So if I do go main.run, so if I put in BSSAM, press enter, and then kill the application here. Okay, at this time I don't see. Oh no, I do see Basam here, right? It did print that out. But why doesn't this get updated is the only thing here. Okay, is there it shouldn't stop the application. It should maybe just call draw, right? Doesn't do anything as of now. It doesn't do anything. And then if I kill this, press enter here, I get these values, which is fine. And the error messages fail to read messages from source. Okay, I'm not sure which one this is. How about we sort of drop this for a second, drop this for a second as well. Maybe this is creating troubles. Just do a application for now. Okay, this works, right? And then if I press enter, I'm not sure what it does, but yeah, it got stuck. But yeah, we're not really handling it, right? So I think let's figure out why this is getting blocked. So we have these things, which is fine. We don't need the box. We do need the go function here. We can do a wait group here. So if we look at this, let's just make it a indirect import. It should be fine now. So the input, either this should be happening, but even if it's happening here, I don't think it should be a problem. Let me get rid of this being full screen for a second. And how can we make sure that this is not really blocking? So if this were blocking, but this is currently happening in a different routine, so that shouldn't be a problem. But like removing it does fix it. So, or is it the wait group? I can't really tell. So now we are not seeing the input field at all. I can see this thing. This is not also working as expected. Yeah, and I can't exit this either. This is okay. So let's make this full screen again. Right. Am I missing anything else? Maybe let's add borders on this for us to be able to easily distinguish this. So I'll say set border to be true. Why is it complaining now? Is that not okay? Set border apparently doesn't work on this, is it? Text view, I don't think we can do border. Maybe that is the case. Okay, how about we do it on the, yeah, this was text view actually. Let's see. Okay, that's weird. I thought we had a border around it earlier, but okay. Can we do it on the flex item itself? I don't think so. This doesn't complain. Okay, now it's not even sort of printing it out. Let's close this. Do a source here, do a go run main. Okay, for some reason it's not doing it's not rendering the whole thing, right? We have it true. Let's get rid of the border. Maybe that is breaking it. although it shouldn't, but yeah, let's get rid of it for a bit. Okay, creating the app here. We're creating a text view, which is fine. We are running this gofunc. Let's run it at the very bottom. Then we're creating an input. We're creating a flex, adding these two items in there. Then we basically run the app by putting flex view at the root, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, but it doesn't work. How about we comment out the chat message code and then try it out, because I can't think of anything else right now, like what is breaking this. So if I get rid of all of this, get rid of all of this as well, and then we try it out. Okay, it does work. I can sort of put in the messages. I can't exit. This is there, still a problem. Now if I go over here, what do I want? I want to be able to, like, whenever I do on the input I do a done, I want how can I say, for example, on the key, what is the type of key here? Key is just a underscore key. I'm not sure what that is. Key dot, there are no methods on it, first of all. So how do I make it empty on save, for example, right? I think maybe I'm just looking at the wrong documentation. So there's like a get value. This has no details in there. Okay, input handle doesn't skip custom form. Okay, so we are doing this T cell here, but yeah, for our case this is key. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure, like maybe there's a better example of some demo applications or something like that. Let's see. So this looks quite interesting, but it keeps updating in parallel as well. All of these I think are examples. Let's look at this Redis terminal. So this uses tcell here and tview. So they create a new application, a new page, a new list. I think we also need a new list for all the messages. a new input field. Input field is something we are interested in. A text view, not right now. Then they create a flex box, a preview flex box, a key and a preview flex box. Key list is basically a list. Secondary text they disable. Title they set as keys. Border is true. Border color is this thing. And then key filter is basically a text field, so they set a background color and a text color on it. This is just text. So this is preview text, which is fine. Then there's key flex box, which is this one. They set a direction for it to be a row, so it is horizontal now. And the same thing for this thing as well. These two flex box would, I think, like stack one above, one below the other. And then they create one more flex box, set a direction of column in it, so, and then add to this. Okay, so there's a flex box and then there are two flex box in it. Okay, that's fine. Then they add a page called main, which is the view flex box. Then they add a form, all of these things. Then they add another page called edit form. To that they add items. Then they have a populate key function that takes in all of these parameters. Doesn't return back anything, just updates the, I think, like the key list, which is a new list. Okay. Then they have this form. I'm just worried about, like, more interested in key filter, right? Like if they use key filter anywhere. So the edit form has these input fields. They have buttons and all of that. They have key list to has a set changed function, and then they have a key filter which has a set finished function, which does the same thing, like takes in these values, and based on that, yeah, it doesn't do much. Just sort of like, how do we, for example, empty its value, right? Like populate keys is what populate keys is. Okay, this is just the list, I think. Yeah, so this doesn't do much, but it does have this set finished func, which is something we haven't looked into. So, and then we have we are also doing a get text on it. We are doing from the flex box, we are doing a remove item. Okay, that's interesting. Like if you have added it, you are removing the element itself. Okay. Okay, let's see. So I think what we have to do here is we have to first define this input, right? I think we can do something like this. This is our input, right? So, and then we can do input view, and all of these methods can be called on it, and one of them is also called input view dot set finished. Is it finished func? When user leaves the form item. Okay, I don't think we need this one, we just need this one. All we can do is we can do like a input view dot set text, maybe. Yeah, we can do something like this, right? So if I run this, hopefully I do this, then I press enter. Okay, I was hoping that, like, after pressing enter, this would update its text to an empty thing, but right now it doesn't. Just give me a second. Hey, hi folks, sorry about that long break. So coming back to our main, so currently we're figuring out like how can we on input clear the thing. So if we do input view dot clear, is there a clear method? No, there is not. Something like this. Let's just review the code base for another application. I think that let's review the password manager. So move this to another window here. Okay, so I want to look at the password manager, which is I think this one. It has a TUI and it primarily has main. Let's start with this one. Okay, so they create an application. I'm not sure what menu bar is, but okay, so flex, then rows are pointer to flex, SPCs, password service, then there's a primitive. On init they get the environment variable, look up something, start a client or something, so that's fine. Then they have menu bar, again I don't know where this comes from. Then they create they have already created an application here, so then they create a row or which is basically a flex, right? And then they add one more item to the flex, or flex didn't have any item, so then they add an item to the flex, which is this row. Then they do like, yeah, this is interesting, they do like set input capture. They listen to certain things. Okay, control C. Okay, let's add this, I think, because this is sort of irritating that the app sort of can't exit. So let's add app dot set, what is it called, set input capture. It takes in a func, an event which is a pointer to t-cell dot event key, right? And this returns back. Do we need to return back something? Because in case of control C we don't return back anything, so for now let's not return anything. Why is this not happy? Cannot use func literal. Oh, okay, no, this looks fine. T-cell event key is it doesn't complain about like return values. Cannot use func literal value of type as a func. Okay, let's proceed with the code first. So we'll say like if t cell dot key. I think the autocomplete doesn't work either for some reason. It is event key here, right? So like what does this require? So this requires yeah, it requires a event key and then it returns back this thing. So this is the function that it takes in. So let's do this. And come back here. Okay, that didn't help, but let's do t cell dot event key as a return value too, right? I think it's happy now. It's not complaining anymore. So if we do t cell dot event key, is it event key or no? It's t cell dot key, and this would be control C. So we can check for this. So we'll say like if the event is equal to this, right? Something like this, and then we'll just in this case do a app dot what is it called, like set root confirm quit. Okay, what is confirm quit now? I don't know what that is, so we'll need to figure that out. So it's a modal. Okay, I don't need any of this. I can just do like app dot stop, right? We don't need modals for this. And then os dot exit with a 0. I think that should be fine. Now it says that app dot stop is undefined, which is weird. Okay, because it's a capital S in this case. And then event is not something that we should be checking. I think it might be a property under event. It's event dot key, which is a method. So this would be a key, right? I think this should be fine. So let's do go run main.go. At least hopefully we can quit. Okay, something is missing. Yeah, we are missing the return argument. Maybe just return back the event. Okay, so that would be right here. Just return back the event. That's fine, right? So let's run it. We get this if I do control C. Oh yeah, we can exit it. So hopefully my terminal doesn't get busted with this either. So if I open a new window right here, so if I go to skip bot, do a go run main.go, type in something, press enter. That adds a 13 to it, by the way. Then do a control C. Okay, yeah, this doesn't work. Control C still doesn't work. Earlier it was working, but yeah, now it doesn't. Let's try again, wherein you don't type in anything, just do a control C. Okay, this works. So there is something okay, how about you can't exit this, which is sad. How about we go back to this and see what is happening in the done method, right? I think there's something up with the done here. So we do a draw, but we should be doing app dot stop, I think. Let's not do any of this. Let's not do this either. Yeah, let's go ahead with this. Do a go run main.go. Okay, this by just pressing enter it stops the application, right? So that is not what we want. What we actually want is, we don't even want a draw here, right? But that's the case, right? We don't want a draw. What we want is app dot maybe let's do that fmt dot f printf. On the text view, just put in the value of the input field there. How about that? This was complaining something. Is it complaining still? Yeah, key is maybe not a, it says that is a string value, cannot use key variable type of this as a string value. I'm not sure, like key is getting printed to the screen. I'm not sure what the issue is. Okay, so this is key. Okay, how about this? How about we do, instead of key, we do fmt f. Okay, let's just bring that back. Let's do input view, do a get text. I think like this will certainly get string. Yep. So let's do this. Let's do a go run main.go. I print out say like 1 2 Okay, this is fine. So I put in 99. That gets added. How do I focus out of this? Can I focus out of this? No, I can't. Do I need to focus out of it right now? I don't think so. So I think if we go back here, to a certain extent it is working as expected. So let's bring this back in. Right, let's bring this back to, let's get rid of the wait group for a second. Let's not use wait groups. Let's get rid of this messages here. Let's just run this. Hopefully this, yeah, okay, this is a valid error. Yeah, okay, we don't see currently any messages on the screen, and I think like this is also blocked, so everything is blocked currently, which is not good. Okay, so if we are here, if we do main.go, run this in, I think like it's already in a go routine, so that shouldn't have been the problem at all. All right, this shouldn't be the problem because it's already here. Let's add back the wait group and then see, but I don't know. How about we also, yeah, it's difficult to tell with this taking up the whole screen. Like we can't do logging as such. Okay, we get this. This doesn't have focus currently, but that's something we removed. We can't do Control C either, that doesn't work. Okay, but we do have a input capture here. Why doesn't this work? The way it is working currently is we are connecting to IRC, we are reading messages, we are writing messages. Maybe we should disable write messages actually currently, till we have this figured out. Yeah, and then our wait or we have this go routine that writes to the text view. So let's try now with the writing channel removed. Let's see. No luck here. I think it's probably then, okay, the Control C works, so that is good. I think it's probably the input that is creating this problem. So how about we comment this thing out, and then also let's just do this. I think it would work, this bit would work. Okay, my assumption here is wrong. So let's add back the wait group first and do it. Okay, wait group is actually there already. So what could be the problem? So we're getting the messages, right? How does write messages work? Okay, how about we do this? We do like os.create. This would be called chat.log, right? This will give us back a file and an error. So let's just do file. Let's skip the error for now, and then we pass it if. Yeah, it's amazing how Go sort of interfaces work. Like I'm easily able to replace standard in a text view or a file without doing a lot of work, without basically doing no changes at all. So we have this write messages which will work as a chat log, and then here I think this is basically just taking the messages and writing them here, right? So that should be fine. Quickly want to take a look at write messages. Okay, write messages is not really going to help in this case. We do want to okay, how about this? We comment this out. We just do it here where we are looping. We can do the same thing over here. To F we will write a message, right? I think this is something we can do. If we run this and then do a tail dash F chat dot log, so nothing is coming in here. Also, like, I'm wondering, like, is this working? Because this file should get updated, right? Now is it blocking on event capture? Hopefully this is not the case. I'm not sure how Control C is still working. Earlier it wasn't. So as we get rid of a lot of things, it still doesn't work. Now let's get rid of the wait group. Or is it just the IRC that, okay, no, here we are getting some details, but it's not printing it here on the screen. So let's clear this out. Currently the file doesn't exist, which is fine. Going over here, so we got rid of wait groups, but why is it not printing to the text view? So text view is here. On change we redraw the application. What could be the issue? Because earlier this was working. This file is empty, so don't think this worked. So this is still not working, right? Let's add back the wait group. At this time chat log is empty. If I do a go run main.go and then check the chat log here, chat logs is still empty. So adding a wait group or removing it doesn't do anything, right? So that's still a problem. Now wondering what could be the issue in this case. So this is running in background, so like I'm not sure why it's still not able to do it. How about we do it before we run the application? Maybe running the application is blocking some way, I don't know. Okay, suddenly there are values here, like, oh okay, I see. Could it be that, like, once I close the application only then it writes? Yeah, it could be that, right? Like if I do buff.io new writer takes in a IO writer, which is an F in this case, right? That would be F, right? And what does it give us back? This gives us back a writer, so let's just call it W, and then in this case we'll do, does this work, or do I do like W dot write string? Yeah, I think this makes more sense. To this we write the message. Okay, let's try this out. I think this will now do it. Oh, okay, suddenly this also works. Chat log still empty. Wow. So I think like it's still waiting for file to sort of close, and then like if I do a control C, still empty. If I do a chat log now, okay, that's fine. But then this all of a sudden started working, right? Why is this working now? None of this makes sense. Okay, let's see. We don't need a writer right now. I think like we can figure it out. This is the only change we made, by the way. Let's get rid of this file as well. Oh, maybe this was blocking. No, that is something we introduced later on. But okay, this is working right now. I wouldn't sort of bother too much with it, right? We'll figure it out later on. So if I enable the input field, let's see how it works, or whether it works or not. So this is the all of input field. If I run, okay, this doesn't have focus here. Can I can't move focus for some reason. Yeah, I can't move focus. So let me explicitly focus on the input. This would be main, right? So let's set focus on this thing. Should be true actually. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do ls. It's printing ls, right? It's sending the message here, so that is correct. So this is some w there. Now instead of sending it to text view, what we want to do is we want to do a write message, right? So that is here. So we want to the, what is f? Oh, this was a file. So we want to write it has to take messages from key. I don't think key would work here, or it does. No, it doesn't. So write message currently takes in a IO reader. Yeah, this is going to get tricky, but it is basically okay. Let's not worry here. Let's just do we have this connection, right? We can just write messages to it, and the way we were writing it is doing something like this, right? So we'll just copy this over. The message here would be key, right? This is one thing. What is up? Okay, yeah, key won't work. We'll do input view dot get text instead. Yeah, and then what I wanted to do was like input view dot set text, which doesn't seem to work, to be an empty string so that it can be empty. So let's try it out. So currently we are seeing the chat messages on the left, and we have an input box here. So if I put in, say, hello, press enter. Okay, So this bit worked, that it removed it, and on the right side, so let me bring the chat on the main screen here. So you see, like, if I put in bang bytes ls, you see it's showing up here. And then if I do like bytes random, okay, so it's working. The only thing is that, like, for some reason it doesn't show the messages that I type. So if I do like hello, it doesn't show the message here, right? So I think it might be a different type of message or something else maybe. So currently what we do is, in the read messages, we are basically listening to everything from the channel. So I think what we can do is we can explicitly put these messages on the list. If I'm sending and maybe annotate it differently, color them differently, but yeah, that is possible. So I think we don't need to worry about this. What I wanted was, like, if I could probably use the write messages. So yeah, this is going to take a IO reader. So if I do like a let's see, like, if we can sort of use the same interface rather than just doing this. So we can do like a buff IO new writer, maybe a read writer, and then to this we pass okay, so this gives us back a writer, right? And on this writer we just add a write string, which would be input dot get text. So yep, and then a writer is still a read writer, right? So we have written to it and then we want to read from it. So I think the way now, even though it makes it like a bit more complicated, but yeah, so even in this case now what we can do is we could call write message dot write message, pass it the writer. Yeah, and let's see, like, if this works. There is some complaining here going on. What does it require? Oh, okay, what does it read from? It doesn't read from anything, right? Like, that's the concern. Okay, yeah, in that case let's just leave it alone. Let's just use, maybe we can just sort of add a helper function around this, which can take a function, right? Like, we don't necessarily need a IO writer, or we can find a way to create a IO writer. Okay, actually it should be IO reader, but yeah, I'll have to figure that out. And currently I think, like, what I also want to do is I want to do a set direction on this. This has to be a, what does it say, int. So what's the values that it takes? Does it say, like, is it a row or a column? The default is column. This can be set direction sets the direction in which content primitives are distributed. This can be either a flex column, default, or flex row. So, but yeah, how does that work? So direction is by default flex column. So what is that? So let's set it to 0 and then check. Okay, yeah, this looks better. Yeah, I think it's working fine. So if I exit this, I'm not sure how we can sort of make this not take equal proportion, right? Because that is not looking good. So it takes in item, it takes in fixed size, a portion, and a focus, right? So I'm not sure like about these portion and fixed size. I think let's say like if it's this part is a 5, what does it look like in that case? Okay, so I think like I'm not sure like how the ratio is split, but let's say let's say this is 10 and this is 1. How about that? This is all right. This looks okay to me. We can figure out a better way, but yeah, still no complaints. Cool. I think this is still good enough progress. So if we look at the readme, we still have to parse messages and then sort of like let's add a TUI UI or just a TUI. I think parts of it we have already addressed TUI, right? But it's still a work in progress, I'd say. So let's just mark it as a half done. So I think I would want to going forward work on what is the next item actually. So I would want to work on the parser so that we can make good use of TUI, but at the same time I think like it's still helpful to have a UI where I can sort of see the messages on the screen rather than sort of having a Twitch chat open. Like this looks much better to me, and it's very low-key. Yeah, I think like we just need to figure out on how to parse the messages and then sort of like do some formatting around them. So that is going to be fun on seeing like how we can distinguish various users and all of that. And yeah, I also would be exploring the tview package that we're using here to see what else are the possibilities with this. I think like we did a flex but doesn't look really great, so that is something I want to look into. But yeah, I think with that we can wrap up for today. So let me commit all of this. So we don't want the chat log. That said, I do want to add this to our to-do list, that with every chat like with every sort of every stream I want to maintain a chat log. So I'll select maintain a chat log. With this would be like a raw chat log that we get from Twitch, and then sort of we pass it through the parser, we'll get something that we see on the screen, something like that. So yeah, okay, so I think we can commit all of this. Yeah, it doesn't look the best UI right now, but I think that's fine. There would be a lot of refactoring in the upcoming streams. So let's commit all of this. This would be add a very basic and then just push it up. I do want to quickly take a look at how did we manage to fix the, like, are we still using go routines? Yeah, we are using go routines. I mean, like, are we still using wait groups? Yeah, we are. How about if we comment them out, like, are they really important? Like, considering the app is anyways blocking, like this app would always block. So let's see. Yeah, I don't think we need it because the app is blocking, and as long as the app is running, the go routines are running. Yeah, so we can get rid of the wait groups, but yeah, I'll keep them there. We'll check that out in the next stream. So okay, thanks a lot everyone. Yeah, that should be it. Yep, thanks, bye bye.